I'm Jared Pratt, CEO of Granite Peak Associates.
I'm Heather Piazza, Tax Manager at Granite Peak.
So in this video, we're going to focus on the 5 things that you should be looking at in your internal financial statement, specifically the income statement. There's really only 5 of them. When you look to the P&L, especially if you're using the AHA chart of accounts, that thing is lengthy. I mean, you could have anywhere between 50 to 100 line items within that income statement. We're telling you there's 5 items that you really need to focus on. The first one, clear as day, is your revenue, right? And we're not talking about the year-over-year growth within your revenue. Now that's important. How do you do year-over-year growth? It's retention of your client base. It's price increases. From a price increase standpoint, we don't like to see just annual consideration of price increases. We really think that's an evolving topic, and it's something that you should be looking at on a quarterly basis. Slow, controlled growth. As a consumer, you always like to see a 1 to 2% growth in our. I'd be more comfortable in seeing 1 to 2% price increase consistently than getting sticker shock with an 8 to 10 price increase. So from a revenue standpoint, it's year-over-year growth through pricing increases, through retaining and growing your client pool, as well as leveraging your staff. Tech appointments and leveraging the technician, put a lot of emphasis on what they do and what they can handle is certainly invaluable as well. So for us, revenue, we're analyzing month over month, quarter over quarter, certainly year over year, and then we're getting into the finer details. So where are your revenue buckets? How much is just through general exam, dental, surgery, and then where are those independent growths as well? What else in the P&L should you be focusing on?
Yeah, some of the other items that we're going to focus on the P&L, your total employee cost. So this isn't just your payroll cost. This is your fully loaded people cost. So that includes your health insurance, your 401k, and any other benefits that you're paying your staff for. It also includes the owner DVM compensation as well. So that total bucket of payroll expenses should industry average be about 40%.
And we're seeing a lot of compression there. What was 40%? The cost of healthcare is increasing. You want to provide a 401k or some type of retirement vehicle for your team. That's slipping into the 41, 42% bucket or percentage of revenue. 1 to 2% doesn't sound like a lot, but you go and you have a practice that's grossing $3 million. 1 to 2% is a big number. So keeping that within the target range of, like Heather said, that 40% is going to be critical in maintaining profitability. What's item number 3?
Item number 3 is your cost of goods sold. What's included in your cost of goods sold? You have your lab fees, you have your prescriptions. It's really all of those costs associated with being a vet and practicing veterinary medicine. Your cost of goods sold should be about 25% to 30% of your top line number.
Yeah, same thing there. If we're watching our price increases, we're seeing that our vendors are charging us more for certain drugs and supplies, and certainly want to pass that on to the end user. We don't want to be coming out of pocket with more costs, yet our top line revenue hasn't grown at all.
Next up, we have our rent. So whether we own the building or we're leasing the space, rent is one of those numbers that we want to watch. Although this is very geographically based, typically the industry average is rent should be about 5% of that top line number.
Yeah. So, and then the final piece is that EBITDA. So EBITDA, think of your adjusted net income. Sure, we have, the end of the day, our net income. So revenue, less all of our expenses, what's left. Then we're making certain add backs. We use EBITDA to the definition. So EBITDA stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Add all that back up. That EBITDA target should be about 18 to 22%. Certainly, you hear it, you see it, you feel it in the industry. There's EBITDA erosion, right? We're seeing margins slip a bit. We're getting asked the question, what can we do to ensure our EBITDA doesn't slip? I think if you focus in on those top 4 items that we just mentioned and consistently have a pulse on that EBITDA number, you're going to be fine financially as you continue to grow your practice.